with our teams later, but I met Amanda on stage last year, I think, and I will never forget. I'm a really raw, honest person. You know that about me. I will never forget being so nervous up there and looking at this chick and seeing her, because they didn't tell us they were going to put our incomes up on the screen, and they did, and it was exciting, but it was also like, oh, and I never will forget being like, how in the hell has she made that much money? Like, it was so cool. It was just so cool. So, Amanda, I've had respect for you like day one, because I know it's because of your hustle and your grind and your work ethic. And then I got to meet her in Cabo, and I've just stayed in touch with her. So thank you so much for coming, being on here. And I want to know everything. I want to know your story. I want to know how in the hell you went 200K that fast. Like, I want to know, if I was living inside of your brain during those 9 weeks, like, what were you thinking? Did you come with a posse? Did you go find these people on Craigslist? Like, what did you do? I want to know everything. So take it away.
Whew. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Whenever I think about it, yeah, I mean, I generally don't think the normal person would come in and run that fast unless they have a really powerful reason to. So for me, I'm just going to back up. I'm going to back up because I don't think it's fair to tell my story of how I went 200K really quickly and came in here and just hit the ground running without kind of sharing the backstory behind it. So first of all, I just want to warn you guys, I'm a crier, and it just happens sometimes, especially when I tell my story. I see one of my girls and she's just smiling because she knows like the emotions sneak up on me in the process. So let's see, in January 2013, I was working full-time at one hospital, working per diem at another hospital. My husband was working full-time, and we had made the decision that he was going to come home. At the end of December, we made the decision that I was going to pick up extra shifts at the hospital because I could make more money that way, because his job kept on laying him off and they wanted to send him out of town. And at the time, I had a 2-year-old and let's see, my oldest, 6 years, a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old. So I was like, there's no way he can't be traveling out of town when I'm working, weekend midnights. Like, we don't have anybody to watch our kids. Anyways, in January 2013, my car was repossessed in front of my kids and in front of my house, in front of my neighbors. And like, I was working nonstop, guys. Like, my student loans, I went to school multiple times. My student loans were just, they were over $1,000 a month, and it was literally eating us alive. We were behind on all of our bills, and we just could not get our head above water. So around that time, I started looking into, should I go back to school? Should I go into real estate? What should I do? And in March, after I got my income tax check, my mom messaged me about my cousin who was in a different business. And honestly, guys, when it came to network marketing or MLM or any of that business, I didn't even know what that terminology is. So I really would like to stress that a lot of people, normal everyday people, don't know what those words mean. They don't know what any of it means, and they don't know what drama is unless you share it. Okay. So I do want to say that. But anyways, I didn't know what any of that stuff was. I knew people sold Mary Kay and like 31 and different things like that, but I didn't know that it was possible to have a website and people order on it, and I didn't have to buy all this product and deliver all this product and all of that jazz. So anyways, my mom told me that my cousin was doing this. So I reached out to her and I was like, what do I have to do? And she told me, and it was similar to, is it okay for me to say what company I was with? All right. So
most of us were from that company.
Oh, okay. So I was with It Works, obviously, since most of you guys were with them too. It was It Works. And I was like, oh, hell, I can sell wraps. I can talk to people and share this stuff, whatever. So there was a $10,000 bonus if I signed up by like that day, that night. So I went ahead and I told my husband, I said, you know what, if I buy, and I'll tell you this, guys, I came into it with a strategy. So like my new promoters, I always like to find out what their strategy is going to be getting started. And I can almost tell if somebody's going to work with me based on that strategy, or if they're just going to ignore me after the first day, right? So I came in with a strategy that the money, I was going to have to sell the 4 wraps that came in my kit to make that money back. I came in with the strategy that I bought the upgrader pack that was like $249 or $149 or something, and how much money I would make back from that. And I knew that I needed to replace that money in my bank account because, guys, we were living less than paycheck to paycheck. It was negative, negative, negative every time we got paid. I mean, we were the people that literally was like scraping change around the house, going to the bank or Cornstar, or, going to get withdrawing money from the bank and then hurry up and going and getting gas because you knew you were going to get an insufficient fund. Yeah, I was that person. Anyhow, so I came in, but guess what? I didn't go very quickly. I was actually really slow. I didn't promote super quick. I missed the bonuses and all of that jazz. But I remember the first like 30 days there, I made like $700 and something just by selling wraps and talking to a crap ton of people. Probably about 2.5, 3 months into that business, I realized that the people that were around me weren't really going to buy from me. So I was like doing a lot of personal development and all of that. And that's when Instagram kind of changed the game for me with my business. Funny enough, I don't really work my Instagram like I should now, but I used to, and it really did. It changed the game. So fast forward, I went to my first event, by working like 5 shifts in a row so I could go. And I went to my first actual big event, conference event, which we have a conference coming up, guys. And I'm going to tell you, conference tickets have not released yet. Okay. And I'm just going to tell you now, you need to start selling some minis or start saving up that money so that you can just take the leap of faith, because you can't rely on, how am I going to pay for my hotel? How am I going to pay for my airfare? No, you just pay for the darn ticket and you figure out the rest along the way until it's time to go. And I promise you, you will never regret that, because when you see and hear the stories that you're going to hear on stage, that is exactly what happened to me. I went to that conference and I had been struggling all that year to gain any growth, but I went to that conference. I maybe had 2 or 3 people working on my team, and I ended up earning a $10,000, $15,000, and $25,000 bonus over the next couple months. And then I was able to leave my job at the hospital and stay casual. Well, that was all great and dandy, but a year later is when I made another run for it and earned a $100,000 bonus. So at that time, guys, I had already earned a lot. I had already earned a lot of bonuses with that company, and I was stayed steady for 15 months at the top, in the top 150. And then in March 2016, my dad was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. I'm an only child, and I swear every time I tell this story, it's really, really hard. I'm an only child, so I was the one responsible for his care. And I should say in 2015, I was able to move him to where I live. So I had a really big why. The whole time that I was in this industry with the first company was that it was like, okay, like I've not seen my kids. I'm going to lose my house. My marriage was on the rocks. I needed to get my dad somewhere safe and living in a good place. So that pushed me every time. That pushed me, right? And then when my dad was diagnosed, I remember he was diagnosed the morning that I went to conference. And I hopped on the plane and I cried the whole way there. And then when I got there, I was at conference when my dad was going into surgery to like have a port and all kinds of stuff. When I came back home, he was, and I remember the Rise song was playing, and oh my gosh, I lost it. But anyways, when I came home, I basically had to stay by his side the whole time because he was so drugged up from medicines, and he had to have tube feedings, and thank God I was a nurse. But I needed to provide his medications, his house payment, his apartment payment, all of his utilities, all of his, like everything that he needed for his care, running him to and from the hospital, which was quite a ways away. Plus, I was still mom, and I was still working casually at that time. Well, fast forward, he passed away 6 months later. And the month that he passed away was August 2016. And that month, I had a really big falling out because 2 days, 3 days after my dad's, after we buried him, my upline, thought that it would be a great time to cross recruit all of my downline. And lo and behold, I had a falling out, and that month my business crashed, my dad died, my cousin, who was my upline, screwed me over, and I lost a good bit of my team. So for the next couple months following, I had a team retreat. My checks I went from the top 150 for 15 solid months to cutting my check in half pretty much every month following. And by the middle of October, I knew after my retreat that I needed to do something. So I reached out to a friend of mine that was in another company, but she had left a company prior to that. And I just wanted to know what was her decision of why she decided to change and things like that. And let me be clear. I didn't leave one company or leave It Works to come to Lavelle for any other reason than I needed to light my fire, and I knew there was something not right. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I knew there was something not right, and I knew that it was time that I move forward. Plus, I was kind of plagued by just what had happened with my cousin, and it was a mess. So anyways, I went back to working full time in November. That friend actually tried to get me to come to another company. I didn't go. They offered me a lot of money, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell you, they tried to bribe me to come to them. And I turned it down because I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to go to this company when I'm going to get paid. But what about the people that are joining me? And I'm a very driven person when it comes to my team has to literally be promoting right along with me, or I can't do it selfishly. Like, it's just, I'm not wired that way. I'm very, I don't know if, I'm sure you guys probably do know the color personalities. I'm very like yellowish, soft, not soft, I guess. I don't know. I'm very like emotional when it comes to my business. Very lead from the heart type of person, but I'm also very, very red. Like, I'm not going to put up your bullshit. If you're telling me that you're working, then send me a screenshot of your stuff. If you need help talking to people, look, I see my team like, yep. Because here's the thing, if you don't send me the screenshot, then you're not talking to them. That's just the reality. But anyways, so when I decided to hop on board with Lavelle, I was having anxiety attacks on a daily, panic attacks on a daily. I was pretty much in nervous breakdown mode. My husband and I were barely hanging on by a thread. Finances were stressful. My kids' lives were up in shambles because their dad and their mom. I mean, here's the thing, guys, and I'm going to tell you, like, I went back to working at the hospital, but my husband went and got a job at Rent-A-Center. You guys know what Rent-A-Center pays? Shit. They pay shit, okay? But he was there digging like freaking crap out of people's houses with cockroaches falling out of it to provide for our family because stuff was bad. It was bad. And here I was in the top 150 just a few months before. And I knew that I needed to make a drastic change, but I was scared. I was scared of the repercussions. I was scared that people weren't going to join me. I was beat down. I think when you get to that point, you're just beat down. So anyways, Miss Jamie Pecca and I were really good friends. We ran to Presidential Diamond in It Works together, and we were sidelines. We were under the same ambassador, but we were sidelines, and we talked a lot. And we were just good friends. She was done with network marketing. She was like, I'm over it. I'm just going to run my little boutique and be good. And I'm like, well, I've looked at a couple companies. I've got to do something, Jamie. I guess I'm going to go to conference and suck it up. And one day she called me up and she said, all right, hear me out. And I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm not doing it, because guess what company my cousin ended up going to a couple months after she sabotaged my business? Lavelle. So, Jamie knowing me, played this card on me. You're really going to let your cousin, and if you guys don't know Jamie Pekka, let me just explain. Jamie is like the person that I needed in my life. She was the friend who was like, Amanda, quit your moping ass around, get your shit together, try this product, and shut up and join me. Like, that's basically what I needed to hear. You can do this, and you know you can do this. Let's go to the top, bitch. Like, that's what she said. And I was like, I guess I need to hear you out. And she was like, will you just at least get on the phone? I was like, Jamie, I'm not joining this company. And she was just like, just get on the phone. So I got on the phone with Lisa Fuller, and she was like, you know, talking about sleep. And I was like, what the hell is that? I sleep like 2 hours a night. Like, I mean, I'm so stressed at this point. I couldn't even imagine anything. And anyways, Lisa sent me a 3-day sample, and that's why I'm such a strong believer that if you get the sample in the right person's hand, no matter how resistant they've been, if they at least give it a try, by that day, guys, that I tried it, I came off of 3 straight day shifts, and I came home and my product was sitting there, and on a Saturday morning, it was January 14th, 2017, I took Thrive for the very first time, and by 3 p.m. I was putting up a resignation video because I felt incredible. And I had the belief that it didn't matter who was going to join me. I knew that the way that I felt, people would want, you know, and I knew people seeing me come alive, people would want. So in all due respect, please know that unless somebody comes in with a major reason why and a significant, you know, hustle, do I think somebody can generally go 200K in 30 days or 9 weeks or whatever? I think it's definitely possible, but I think that they're going to have to work harder than they've ever worked before in their entire life. And it's going to be very little sleep in the process. So anyways, when we joined, I did not. I had a couple of my personally enrolled join me, and they're not here today. They all pretty much quit like right away. But there were sidelines that saw me decide to jump on board with this. And even though they really didn't know the company or anything like that, they knew me. They knew that even though my dad had died, I was back to work. They knew that I showed up every day. Like, I continued posting, guys, even when I was in a really bad place. I continued posting every single day to my team, to Facebook land. I continued to network. I continued to sign people. I never stopped. And the day that I signed up, I knew that I was going to be working full time. I had to. My husband was going to be working full time because he had to. And I was about ready to lose what income I still had left. And I didn't have a lot of people to join me. So anyways, we ended up just hitting the ground running. And you guys, I was doing Zooms in the med room. I was doing Zooms on my way to and from work. I was on calls. I was on lives. I was posting before and after work. I would set up Buffer posts, which Buffer, I don't even think posts to Facebook now, but it did whenever I was like getting started. But really it wasn't even significant. The things that I would have Buffer posts would be like interactive stuff, which I could have just posted up anytime. But anyway, so my whole thing when I came in was that we were focused on VIP 800, VIP 800, VIP 800, VIP 800. And that was across the board. And then it was like, okay, like this person gets the VIP 800. Do you have 2 customers? Do you have 2 promoters? We didn't overcomplicate the process. It wasn't like, okay, let's get to 200K today. No, it was, okay, let's go VIP 800. Then let's add the next step. Let's go VIP 1600. Then, okay, let's add the next step. You need to help those people that you just came in with you go VIP 800, VIP 1600, boom, your 4K. And then it was just like that on repeat. And that's how basically we've taught our team all along. And we always come back to that. So for me, when I came in, it wasn't a massive following. I did have a following though, because I was one of those people in this industry that has always been very loud. I've always been somebody that's willing to help people, and somebody that's always willing to just kind of be myself. And that is a relatability factor, guys. You know, Courtney's been sharing her entire journey, you know, over, I don't know what day you're on now, like 32 or something like that, you know, for sobriety. And you guys, that is a relatability factor, being able to share something so vulnerable, and people that don't even have the same struggles as her can relate to her on different levels. Like I can relate to her on certain things, even though I've never had the same struggles with that, but I've had the same struggles with food. And that's, you know, that's a touchy subject. So anyways, just really kind of coming in and not allowing, first of all, don't allow the product to change who you are, but like you want to share who you are with the world, okay? And then share what the product has done for you. People aren't going to buy from you just because you have this deal or that deal or this sale. They want to know what the heck. Like people jump on Facebook not to buy stuff from their friends or to join their friends, okay? They jump on Facebook because they are nosy. Let's be real. They're nosy and they want to scroll people's newsfeed and see what's going on in people's lives. It's kind of like turning on the news like 20 years ago, right? So our, you know, our friends and family and stuff, your excitement level about what it is that you're doing is going to be what changes your business. I'm sorry, it is without a shadow of a doubt, because I know that when I came in, it was, I'm going 200K straight from the beginning. And I didn't let go of that. So even if I didn't hit a specific goal, like I wanted to hit 200K in like before the end of February. All right. And I was damn determined to do that. And I finished off the end of February at 165,000. And I joined January 15th. So, and it was like, I don't know. I remember on March 1st when that started back at 0, by the 8th, I was already 80K. And I was like, oh, game on, baby. Like it's happening. And we finished that month with like 300K. And I was like, that was my first full month. But what was really cool was I went, I told you guys my dad died. I went 200K 2 days after my dad's birthday. I wanted to go 200K on my dad's birthday, but I didn't hit it. So I went 200K 2 days after my dad's birthday. And at that time, I earned the $200,000 bonus, which was enough to help me pay off those income taxes. I mean, I owed a shit ton in taxes, which was another thing. I had a lien going on my house. I had all this stuff that was happening. Like I lost my dad. I lost lots of friends. I lost my business. I was back at work dealing with the people. And I left that part out. I was facing, guys, I had to go back to work and face the people that never thought that I was going to succeed, thought that it was a pyramid scheme, and watched me fail, like watched me fall and crumble, like right in front of them. And then you better believe it was sweet whenever I freaking went 200K and earned that bonus. And then I put in my notice right after conference, right after you met me. Oh wait, no, you met me. That was last year. Geez Louise, it's weird to say like this will be my third conference. So yeah. So anyways, that's what kind of is a little bit of my story. I don't know. You're probably going to ask questions. I am kind of scatterbrained. I'm so scatterbrained and all over the place, but I think that's really the gist of it. So what kind of questions you got for me?
Give me goosebumps because you remind me that like it doesn't matter what resources you have. Like this makes me emotional, like just hearing you. It doesn't matter, like all that mattered is that you had a why. Like you had a why that was so strong that you were going to oh, hold on, sorry. Okay, thanks. You had a why that was so strong that you would have knocked over like a brick wall, and that's it. I mean, I love you because you are real, you are raw, you're not like, and I don't mean this rude because I love you the way you are. You're not like perfect, you're not
Right.
like all put together at all times of the day, and you're not like this creature that we can't relate to, right? Like you're so real, and I love that because damn it, y'all, if like Amanda doesn't give you the motivation and doesn't give you I always say you have to look at people like you and not think, well, if her, then not me. You have to look and be like, if she can do it, I can do it. I mean, she
Mhm.
had every reason in the world to fold. I always talk about fighting or folding, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I would have fought if I was you.
Yeah.
You had everything against you, and like you were like, no, like I'm not, like you were stripped of everything. So
Mhm.
just hearing your story is so cool because I love that you're not like, oh yeah, well, I was a supervisor of 16 sororities and I just showed up with a table and signed all these people up. Like, like you got nitty, you got gritty, and you got to work. But I think what's so awesome is for you, there was no like check yes or no. It was like check yes, and let's see how fast we can check yes. So okay, here are some questions. Um, do you message people? What does your day look like? Tell me that. What does a typical day? And you can like be real because I'm real with my team. I'm like, I still have on yesterday's pajamas. Like I'm not organized. I'm just hungry. So what does your day look like?
Okay, so first of all, I want to start by saying that I probably definitely need to be more organized, okay? But on a day-to-day basis, so as soon as I get up, I normally will listen to something. Like just whenever I'm getting up and getting my steps ready and stuff, I'm normally trying to rush and get my kids out the door. I'm not fully awake. I am not a morning person. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, I wake up and I pop my ass out of bed. Nope. I wake up and I'm normally cussing and my kids know not to talk to me. And then I take my capsules and then we're good. But that's like about 20 minutes later. So I normally am listening to something positive in the morning, but then I always go through and I check my messages. But I don't reply to individual messages in the morning at first. Only the only people I reply to right away in the morning a lot of times are a group chat. If I see that it's a group chat that like it's been sitting there, I can tell, and it's something that needs to be addressed. Or if it's a potential that has messaged me, I will message them back. But I don't message team back just yet, just because I go down through and I always have a checklist, guys, of things that I want to do through the day. And normally those things always start with like me checking on my team, me going in and doing whatever team page stuff that I need to do. I'm doing a 14-day challenge right now in a challenge group, and I've got to watch that video, and it's normally about an hour long. So I'm sitting there intentionally writing down my notes, and I'm getting myself ready. And then I normally correspond that and share it with my team after so that they can get on with their action task for the day. We always post, we have different people, either I'll post it or another leader will post it. And we have little check off sheets, and people just make them different every day. And it'll be like, go off and interact, do your happy birthdays, reach out to people, reach out to 5 people, aim to sell so many minis, do some kind of personal development. We call it a heartstrings post, which is, really just kind of like a heartfelt based around one of your 5, things that you identify with. Like for me, everybody knows that I have my kids, and they know that like I'm a soccer mom and a softball mom and now a dance mom, which by the way, guys, I sign customers and promoters all the time from my kids' activities. And if you're not loud about that kind of stuff, you definitely should be. They're not normally, I don't like just go up to them, hey, want to join my Thrive team? Hell no. I add them on Facebook, buddy, so I can steal their pictures. Whenever I post a picture of their kid, I want to be able to tag them. And then they just so happen to see my stuff. And then that's how that turns into customers and promoters. But anyways, on a day-to-day basis, so it's really just a matter of, okay, like, did I follow people on Instagram today? Did I message people on Instagram today? And by the way, I do not cold message. I know that's a question that's often asked. I do not cold message. However, I do prospect. So there's a difference there. There's a way to message people and there's a way not to. So I guess that's probably one of the questions that you guys have, is when do you message somebody and when do you not? Is that something too, Courtney? So guys, here's the realm of my day is based around what do I need to do to get customers to interact with people. I only post, and this is a personal preference, I only post 3 times max on my Facebook every day. I sometimes will get a little bit, I get kind of manic. So sometimes I'm like over posting, and guess what happens? Nobody sees my stuff. Nobody sees my stuff. So I only post, and you guys all do things differently. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but I'm just going to tell you for myself. And it's mainly because of just different videos or whatever. And then I'm pretty transparent. You kind of know where I stand at all times. If you go to my page, you know that if I'm being really down, like, I don't believe in negativity, but I believe in calling people on their shit. So, you just never know. I'm very much what you see is what you get type of person. But anyway, so my everyday thing, it changes. I do power hours. We do power hours a lot. Randomly throughout the day, different leaders will pop it up. If somebody's free, we'll all hop on. If nobody's free, we're not. We also do office hours. That's something that we just incorporated probably about 2 months ago, but really got consistent with this month. On Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I spend about 2 hours just being available, openly available. I'm going to be working during that time. Other people are going to be working. But if they have specific questions that they need help with, advice on what to say to people, how to market, how to work Instagram, how to work Facebook, how to talk to somebody, how to answer somebody, where to look for something, if they need somebody moved, if they have a waiting list question, whatever it is. Here's the deal, guys. As you grow, your team's going to get huge. The more time you're spending in Messenger, going back and forth with your teammates, the less time you have to prospect. So I get messages all day long, and I simply say, at this point, there's times that I will answer it, and there's times that I say, you know what? This person's not getting on Zooms. This person's not getting on calls. This person hasn't sent me one damn 3-way message. You can hop on during office hours and I'll answer any question that you want, but people need to respect each other's times, right? So I'm not going to spend 24 hours a day answering questions and answering messages to people when they can't even show up for a Zoom or training, a call, or any of that. So you got to learn where to spend your time, when to spend your time. So Zoom calls, lives, things like that. I also realized that I can't be everywhere. So there might be 20 different calls today, 20 different Zooms today. Guess what? I've got to pick and choose which ones are where I need to be for today. You can watch recordings anytime or listen to recordings anytime when you're driving down the road. So who do I message and who do I don't? So first off, if it's somebody that I know very well and I think that they'd be great in this business, you bet your ass I'll message them and tell them I think they'd be great in this business. They need to get over themselves and join me already, right? Or if it's somebody that's whining that they can't sleep or they need energy or and I know them, I'll shoot them a message right away. If it is somebody that I do not know, well, again, I might know them from social media. Let's just start there. I might know them from social media. If they're posting about something that I have an opening for, like whether it's about needing money, whether it's about not sleeping or whatever, I definitely message those people and I hold nothing back. But let me explain. I would never message anybody. I've got 3 spots for a 90-day challenge, right? Because I know how I feel when I open those messages. I know how I feel when somebody messages me and tells me that they're going to invite me to an online party for X, Y, and Z person, and what would I like? I feel pressured then, and I don't like that feeling. So my thing is, when I shoot somebody a message, I literally say, hey girl, you have a minute? And then I get the conversation going, and then I tell them, listen, I saw you posting about this and I was super hesitant. Let them know that you really didn't want to message them to come off as that salesy person, but you actually have something that could help them. So then what's so wrong with you messaging them? You're taking that off of yourself. And you don't feel that, you know what, they might join, they might not, they might order, they might not, but you have something that can help them for a need that they want. Now, whether they decide to order, maybe they will, maybe they won't, right? That's not in your hands. Your job as a network marketer is to provide people with solutions to their problems, whether that's a financial solution or that is a solution that one of the products will help. So on Facebook, do I message people? I do, but it's normally, I message birthdays every day. I send a message in Messenger every now and again. I miss birthdays. I don't message Thrivers though. I don't tell Thrivers happy birthday. Sorry if I missed your birthday, but I don't tell Thrivers happy birthday. I mean, I do sometimes, but I don't that's not my priority list because those aren't income producing. All right. I also unfollow Thrivers for the most part, unless they inspire me and they really kick me in my ass. Because I'm the type of person that I'm fueled by energy. So if I have a friend that's super motivational, super inspiring, you better believe I'm going to keep on following them, because every time I see their posts, like in this challenge right now, there's a sideline of mine, Aaron Appoint, Aaron. Okay. So he's so motivating, right? And he's in that challenge, and I haven't done my day 6 video yet. And he's also in there, and we are nowhere in the same downlines whatsoever. We're just both under this network marketers group during this challenge. And every single time I see him post about him completing his video, I'm like, man, I didn't want to do this right now, but I guess I better get my ass doing it, because I don't want to finish this 14 days to say I didn't do it all. Right? So every time I see it, so I continue to follow people that inspire me, but I unfollow sidelines that aren't uber motivating to me. I unfollow a lot of my downline if they're not my personally enrolled or they're not my adopted personally enrolled. Not all of my downline do I unfollow, but you guys, when you start to have 10,000 people in your team, it's if I literally just scrolled my news feed, that's all it would be Thriver. So you gotta make that definition somewhere, right? So I will message, I'll message people in on a day-to-day basis, but it's normally for birthdays on Facebook. Okay. Or if I see a need that I can do, or whatever. But I do a lot of prospecting on Facebook, just having conversations with people, and then they see my post, and then we end up leading into that kind of stuff. Instagram's a different beast. Okay. Instagram's a whole different beast. Now, Instagram, I don't feel uncomfortable messaging somebody, at all, but I don't cold message and say, oh, you want to da 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 da. But if they are loving on 10 of my posts, and now I don't really post a lot on my actual Instagram. I post to all of my stories. So a lot of times, I'll post some stuff on my actual Instagram feed, but most of it is in stories. And that's where I start to get interaction happening, and I see who's seen stuff, but I do a lot of polls. And then those people that reply in the polls, I'll go down through and message. But also, if somebody is liking a lot of my posts, or they just seem super incredible, I'll message them to start a conversation. I want everybody to understand, if you message somebody to say, look, your page is freaking inspiring. I love following you. I'm excited to continue to get to, see all the stuff that you post. Hope you're having a good day. That conversation, having an intimate conversation with somebody, complimenting them. So you want to give them a compliment. You want to, say something about why it is that you're following, or that you're enjoying following them, or whatever like that. That opens up that dialogue, and it's more of an intimate thing than you just commenting on one of their posts. So when you do that, they're more likely to pay attention to, who is this girl? I talked to her. She's not just somebody that liked or commented or whatever. She's somebody that took time out, say, hey, I appreciate your work. I hope you have a great day. That gives you in the feels. I always say, if something makes you laugh, or something makes you smile, or something just brings that emotion to you, people are going to remember you more. They're going to remember you more. So yeah, I message people all the time. But it's literally not what you think. Now, if I'm in a conversation with that person, and whatever, and they seem to be asking me about, maybe I posted a poll, and this is what I want you guys to realize. You don't always have to post about products, okay? So maybe I posted a poll and it was about keto. Just say keto, okay? and somebody starts talking to me and I say, oh, have you been doing the keto diet for a long time? They say, yeah. I say, oh, have you ever heard of Burn? Like, I've been taking this, da, 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 da. Guess what? I just opened up a conversation. I just led this person who's on a keto diet now into, hey, have you ever heard of this product before? Because it's crazy in the results. And I might shoot them, win the conversation, be like, yeah, no, I've heard of it, but I've not really know much about it. I'm like, girl, you should see my friend Tina's results. She is bumping. And that's how I would reply. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not, oh, it does this, da, 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 da. I'm like, I know that I'm a girl that wants to lose weight. And if you show me results, I'm gonna be like, what is that? How much is it? Let's do it. Right? Because that's what it is. Now, there are people that want to know everything under the sun about it, and those people get my website. And I say, sign up for a free customer account. You click the PDFs and read every little thing that you want to read about them. But for the other people, just having conversations, or maybe I'll post something about working as a nurse, or maybe I'll post something about my student loans, or maybe I'll post something and I'll create some kind of poll, right? So then they react to that. And then guess what? I can shoot them a message and be like, oh yeah, like I can tell them, hey, are you on any programs to help you pay that off? Last year, I was able to pay off like 20 grand for, my student loans, or 25 grand for my student loans from my side business. But I was looking into some kind of calculator to help me kind of budget how I could get this paid off quicker. And my goal this year is to pay off 30 grand, right? So anyways, when you have those kind of conversations with people, it kind of starts to relate. And then guess what? You can say, have you ever heard, or have you ever worked from home before, or anything like that? Like, it can lead into that next thing. But so many people go into it just thinking that you need to sell. But the reality of it is, guys, is that most people, picture this. You have a little diagram, a little pie chart, right? Most people are going to be in the 1% to 2% people that are going to jump on Facebook or jump on Instagram and say, I think I'm going to buy something today from one of my friends. I wonder who's going to post first. I think I'm going to go and spend a startup cost today on a business that I know nothing about. How much am I going to do for that? Most people aren't going to do that. Now, occasionally there's going to be that person that hops on Facebook looking for something to lose weight, and you're going to just so happen to post it, and boom, there you go. You got a customer right away, right? But most people, that's not going to be the case. Most people are going to need more information. And they're going to be the people that you're following up with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 times that you're going to talk to before they finally order from you. Then you're going to have this other small percent that are just not going to want anything to do with you, no matter what you do. They're going to be the mean, nasty ones that comment on stuff that have nothing good to say. Like, I don't know, they're like negative Nancy, and that's all there is to it. And they're just assholes. Like, I have friends and family, like most of my friends and family, I don't even have team that's local. Let's just be real. I don't have a single person that is local to me that's any closer than an hour to me that's actually working their business. Now, why is that? Because I build my business completely online. Completely online, except for when I fly around the locals. I don't have any locals, like locally to me. I don't have a local team at all. Just because that's not where my passion has been. Like, I'm just being honest. So I talk to everybody, and I add everybody to Facebook. Everybody that I talk to on Instagram, I add to Facebook. Everybody that I talk to in a store, I add to Facebook. Everybody I talk to in a restaurant, anywhere, they all come to Facebook. And then I just, so that's what I do.
I love that. I love how you're talking about how you get in people's inboxes, because that gives me some ideas, like, how you get into people's inboxes with polls, because I oftentimes think if I'm making a poll, it's just like a yes or no, or not a yes or no.
No, dude, change the words.
No. I mean, like, yes, or like I'm ready, or like I need more info. But even like, you're giving me new ideas to even just do a poll that's like, are you on keto? Yes, or thinking about it. And then I can just talk to people about things that I'm like genuinely interested in. I mean, I do that, but then whenever you use a poll to do that, that's brilliant. I did have someone ask, and I think I know your answer, but I want to hear it from you.
What is it?
I think you would say like peace out. So you have someone that joins you, they go MIA. They don't use the tools, they don't use the resources, and they want to say, well, I didn't hit my bonuses. Like, what? I mean, I would beg to say you would be like, not my problem. Like, you got to pick up the tools, right?
Yep. Anybody on my team right now, they're like, yeah, no, Amanda would just call it like it is. No, for real. I 100%, here's the thing. Everybody can have an excuse for anything. All right. I saw people that, I mean, I had a girl that delivered a baby 2 days ago and she was posting on Facebook. I mean, before and after the delivery. Like, I mean, I've seen that over and over and over again. I've seen people commit to challenges and they did it. Just 2 months ago when we had the re-VIPs, we had a girl on our team who was in a very bad situation at home and she needed to get out. And she needed the money for her kids and for her. And nothing was going to stop her. She didn't make excuses. She got the shit done so that she could accomplish what she accomplished. And she was able to get away, right? So here's the thing. If somebody's not going to work their business, you can't feel, I mean, I feel bad for them because they just wasted an opportunity, but all they can really do is get to work. So people have to prove to me that they're going to plug in, that they're going to utilize the tools before I'm spending any energy with them. So if they want me to be on three-way calls, three-way chats with them, then they need to provide me with the people and let me see the conversations they were having with that person prior to. Don't throw me in a three-way. Listen, I have a rule. Do not throw me in a three-way chat with somebody that you haven't even had a conversation with. Like, if you don't know why the person wants to use the products, or if this person doesn't know why they're even talking to me about the opportunity when you've not even had that discussion with them, I'm not going to do your job for you. I will help validate. I will help seal the deal. I will bend over backward. Yeah, but don't you dare decide that I'm going to be the one who sells your product and closes the opportunity for you when you weren't even ready. You weren't even willing to ask the person what their budget was, or why they want to use the products, or how much their time they're willing to put into this, or whatever. And simply put, screenshot it, guys. Send it to your upline. They'll tell you if you need to be in a three-way chat, or you can just answer the question for them. There's a time to put people in three-way chats and not. Huh?
I have that rule, and I say you utilize a three-way chat when you literally cannot even go, oh, my girl. Like, when you are like, I don't know, like, she has this thing, this obstacle, this objection that you literally can't even say, oh, yeah, I know somebody. Like, when you literally have to go and find, because if not, it will turn people off. And I'm like, do not put me in a three-way chat and someone say, well, I don't even know what Thrive is. Because people don't connect with us. We validate. But yes, I agree. Like, people have to do that work themselves because it's a relationship. It is a relationship that you have
and people aren't going to join you and they're not going to order from you if you literally aren't willing. Listen, guys, you don't need to know it all. All right. You don't need to know it all. You just need to care about actually helping the person that you're helping get what they want. So if you focus on that, what do they want? If you can't answer that, there's a problem. So every conversation that you have with somebody, what is it that they want? What kind of results are they trying to get? Whether that's a financial, that's a health goal, whatever it is, what is their budget? Like, what's holding them back? Like, don't be afraid to ask them what's holding them back from joining you today.
Yep.
Normally, I'd say probably 90% of the time, it's money. Okay, well, what is your budget? And if you change your words to, okay, what is your budget? I want to work with you and help you get these results. And then we can try to get you thriving for free going forward. Okay, so it's all a matter of finding what it is that is making them hold back. It's all a matter of finding what their needs are and then you working to help that. And if you don't know the solution in the process, that's when you pull in a third-party validation to help you kind of close that deal. But that third-party validation is going to feel like almost an invasion of privacy if they don't know what it is that you're even having a conversation about. And a lot of times a third party validation isn't even needed if you just can, normally it's a question that just needs answered, and you build the confidence in the person when you are able to answer it. But I'm the type of person, if I don't know the answer, I tell the person I'm talking to, I don't know. I'll go find out that for you. And they are fine with that because they know that I'm like, I don't know. I was a nurse. So I always say, like, if you know it all, you really don't know anything at all. So the moment that you think you do know it all, you probably need a reality check. So anyways, that's my
I
thought on
love that. I love that because yeah, I mean I know that we hear a lot and the old school way was third party validation, but I feel like in today's world, like people don't want that icky, that pressure of joining an MLM. They want, yeah, they want to connect with the person. They don't want you bringing in Susie who makes this much money and this person and like it's a gang up, right?
it.
So you have to be smart to know. Don't be afraid to use them the right way, guys.
Right.
They
Yeah.
are
Oh,
powerful.
it'll close people every time. I came in because of third party validation and a 3-way call. And I hate the phone. I hate the phone. Like, if you call me, there's a 99.9% chance that you're going straight to voicemail. Okay. Just,
Yeah, me too. And then you're gonna get a text. Is everything okay? Yeah, for sure. Let me see if there's anybody else. I just love you. I love that you're raw. Let me ask you this. Do you unplug? Do you think that it's okay to just take days off because you've made it? I mean, you're at the top. Like you have 200 Ks under
hell
you.
no. I've not missed a single day. And I'm just going to be real with you guys. In the past 6 months, I've lost 3 business partners that were leaders within my organization, a 40K, an 80K, and a 200K, and multiple people underneath of them. I've had 4 deaths, 4 grandparents that have died in the past. My grandma just died the other day, and it was very unexpected, and it totally it's been hard. My husband's grandparents both died. One died the day before we went to Cabo. The other one, his wife, passed away a week and a half after we came back from Cabo. So we lost 2 grandparents like back to back. And then my stepdad's mom passed away literally a month and a half before that. So I'm just gonna be really honest with you. No, I don't take days off. Okay. I don't take days off. But if I'm having a really bad day, I delegate out things that I would have been normally doing that I just don't have the energy to do. But I'm still normally communicating with my leaders. I'm still putting some stuff out there. It's just a little bit more low key. I'm not necessarily reaching out to people that day. I might do birthdays or something, but I don't want to have a lot of personal interaction just because I'm not in that place to talk. But that doesn't mean I can't work my business in different ways. So I still do work my business. Now I do unplug in the evening times. I have a rule because if not, I would literally work all night long. Okay. So I have to take my phone when it's time for me to go to bed after I've done. Now I should also say, I don't go to bed until everything that I have on my checklist for the day is done. Okay. So if I said I was going to sign this amount of customers today, so I know my limit, I know my strong suit, then I would do it. And I'll be honest with you guys, I had a downswing on the signing, and I'm going to tell you why. I hadn't been prospecting. I had spent so much time. I inherited like 100 leaders in the past couple months that are now my personals. Okay. And so I've spent an awful lot of time, trying to be that person for them, because it's not fair to them that, their uplines decided to leave and go different places or anything like that. Like, I'm still going to keep on showing up. I'm still going to be that support for them. And some of them never really had that support, even though they had that upline. They just didn't have that person to ask the questions to and to feel comfortable. And a lot of them didn't want to come to me because they thought, oh, she's so busy, whatever reason that, people get in their heads. They don't want to reach out to me. Oh, Amanda's too busy. She's 200K, No, I'm here to help you. Like, that's what my job is to help my team. So if you don't have a leader that's showing up, go to that leader up above them. Who cares cares? And if that person's insulted because you went to the next person up, well, maybe they should have showed up. Maybe they should actually be working their business. Okay. Because you better believe if I've got somebody 18 levels down that is hungry, I'm going to grab onto their arms and we are going to run this thing to the top. And I could give a shit less if I get paid on that person, because you know what? All those little people in between, they're going to compress, and eventually that girl's going to be on my top line, because those other people that are like not tuning into their business is going to eventually crumble. All right. So eventually they're going to quit and we're just going to get them canceled out anyways. And that person's going to be right under me. So if somebody's hungry, buddy, I just want to run with them.
Yeah, I love that. Tell me one last thing. I know you told me that you have your non-negotiables during the day of when you don't work your business, and I love that, because so many of us came from a place of like, and you're a workaholic like I am. I mean,
I'll send you a copy before I forget. I'll send you a copy of some of the income producing activities that we do.
Okay.
After we get done with this, because I see those asking.
Yeah, perfect. What were the things you told me the other day? You said these are the times that are like sacred to me and I don't work, because I know you work every day. I know you're not like, oh, it's family day. But what are those sacred moments for you that you keep that way?
Okay, so on a day-to-day basis, so homework time, when my kids have homework, that is always off limits. Like, you're not going to get me on a call, you're not going to get me on a three-way, you're not going to get me on a Zoom, you're not going to get me on any of that, because that is my homework time. Before school, whenever I'm doing my daughter's hair, like, and, you know, talking to her, getting her conversations going in the morning, I'm not on my phone that entire time, taking her to school or anything like that. When I pick her up from school, doesn't matter what I was doing, that 3:15, I might have just finished a live, my phone goes off, or I might video her or something real quick. But after that, phone's shut. I'm not going to answer messages. You're not going to hear from me for probably about an hour or so, because when we're coming home, I want to know how her day was. I want to not have any distractions with that. I want her to be able to talk to me and have those conversations. So normally for about an hour, you know, when we come home from school, we normally will, how was your day? What did you do? Da, 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 you know, any homework that we need to address right away, we might do, but we might take a little break, like an hour break, and she might go play. During that time, I'll probably work. Okay. But then dinner and homework time, I never work. My daughters, if they have practice and it's somewhere that I can't see it, I'll work while I'm, you know, there. But if it's somewhere where they can see, then I'm going to not be on my phone for the most part. I mean, practice is a little bit different, I guess, but ball games, like if they are performing or playing a soccer game or a softball game, my phone is put away and on silent. Like, I don't even pull it out unless it's to take a picture, but it'll never be to answer a message. So like, people know when my daughter's softball games, I refuse to let my kid look up and see my head in the phone. I'm doing this for them, and they know that. And when I was with It Works, I'll be honest, I worked nonstop, because I honestly, I felt guilty, and that guilt like ate me alive. Like, I felt guilty for not working my business, because somebody would be like, no BD and TV, da, 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 da. Anyways, but the reality of it was, is there some truth to that? Sure. If you want to sit on your ass and watch TV all the time, then you're probably not going to build a business very fast. Do I see anything wrong with you watching TV show or Netflix at night to calm yourself down? No. In fact, that's one thing I kind of made a rule for myself this year, was that at the end of the night, when I'm ready to shut down after I've accomplished everything, I can check off as pretty much everything, unless there's like, you know, something that I tried, attempted, and it just wasn't possible to finish. And I say it's time to shut down. My phone goes on my charger, and I'll flip on the TV and I'll watch something, and then I fall asleep, and then I wake up and go over. So basically, anytime we're having dinner, homework, my kids are in their athletics, if my family goes shopping, I'm not on my phone. Unless it's to take like some pictures here and there, or like a boomerang or something. But I'm not on my phone. I might in the car a little bit here and there, but if we're out shopping, I'm not going to be answering messages because, you know, I've been there before where my husband was like trying to show me something, or my kids were trying to show me something, and I was like trying to answer a message or reply to somebody or sign a customer. You guys, that customer, they're going to sign with you if they're going to sign with you. They're not going to sign with you just because you were the first person to message them back. And if they were, do you really want to work with that person? I don't know. The longer I've been in this business, I get to pick and choose who I work with. I get to pick and choose who I get to be, you know, to sponsor as a customer. And if that person is shitty to me, I'm not going to, you know, if they can't wait for me to get done helping my family or be with my family, then that's it. So really my non-negotiables are family time. And I want to address that because when I go on vacation, I still work my business. Okay. I'm not gone for a week. I work my business in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night before bed when I go on vacation. So I'm still plugging in. I'm still getting posts out there. I'm still talking to people. I'm still doing stuff, but it's in different spurts. So like in the morning time before my family would take off and do whatever it was that they were going to do, that would be my priority. Like I need to get X, Y, and Z done before I get out the door. In the afternoon when we like maybe have lunch and everybody's relaxing or whatever, I'll catch up on whatever I can with work. And then again at nighttime when we come in for the evening, we're done for the day, I'm laying in bed, I'm working. So even when I was on my cruise, like I'll be honest, Duo dropped when I was on a cruise, and I think I was in like Jamaica that day or something like that. And I can tell you guys, like, I mean, I signed multiple customers. I worked my business, but I had one hell of an amazing day with my family as well. So, and like people got to see me go live and do all of this stuff from the balcony that morning whenever it dropped. And then I would spend the day with my family, and then later on, and I think they had like a buy two, get one free or something that same damn weekend. So it was just, you've got to set a priority, but you also have to know that if it's a family vacation or something like that, you've got to put your phone down, enjoy your family time, and then get your ass to work. So I really am a no excuses type of person. Like there's not much that you could tell me. I have a girl right now working her business, and she's sitting alongside her son who's in ICU and who literally has like swollen ventricles and seizure precautions nonstop. And she is working her damn business right beside him. So you can't tell me that you just want to lay on your bed and binge watch TV and then whine why your business isn't growing. Like that's just, you can't blame the business. You have to take some personal responsibility. Like I can't blame anybody for me not signing customers or promoters right now but myself, because I didn't prioritize my time the way that I need to. I wasn't following up because I wasn't following up the way that I needed to. And that's what it really comes down to, is owning your shit. You know, how many people, when somebody messages me and they want my help, I'm ready and want to help them. But if that person hasn't been on any calls, they haven't been on any Zooms, they haven't done anything, then I'm going to tell them they need to go and watch a recording. I'm not going to sit there and spend an hour talking to them when I just did a Zoom all about this. Like they can go watch the Zoom.
I feel you. Yep. Mm-hmm. I love you. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for pouring into our team. You're such an inspiration. I just love you, and I cannot wait to see you super soon. I love watching you kill it. So thank you so much. And thank you. Okay, I'm not sure who JDC 1992 is. I know you just messaged. Whoever that is, will you message me privately? Andrea Edwards. I'm not sure whose team you're on. Is Andrea Edwards on your team? They were asking about a certain like closing, and we just did a closing video, but I'm not sure, Andrea, whose team you're on, and if you're in okay, just send me a message, because we do have a training up, and if it's someone on your team, Amanda, I can send you that training if it helps, with closing. So thank you so much for everything you just poured into my team and M's team. I appreciate it so much. So
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies. All right, bye guys. Have a good night.